Hey everybody, here's the JFAK 9 knife, 52100 with vintage micarta handles. Yeah, there's a little blip there in the micarta, little defect. It's a discoloration. It is what it is. Sometimes it happens. So, still a great looking knife. Alright guys, we got a little piece of 1095 left over from a previous project, and I've decided I want to make a little kitchen knife out of it. I think I'm going to make sort of a hidden tang, a rat tail tang knife with maybe a wah style handle. This piece of 1095 is pretty small, so it doesn't really fit in my tongs very well. It's very short. My tongs don't have a backstop on them, so the piece just slides all the way to the back of the fulcrum or the hinge area, and it leaves me this little nub to work with. So I can't hang it over the edge or put it in the middle of the anvil like I would normally do. Here's a better picture. You can see how short this thing is, and it just moves right back into the crotch of the tongs every time I try to hammer it. I used to not really like 1095, mostly because everyone else liked it. And I went on to like W2, and now I use a fair amount of 52100 and things like that. But for forging steel, I think it holds up pretty well. I did some edge retention testing with it, ADCRV and W2 a few years ago, and I didn't notice a big difference. In fact, 1095 did pretty well. I'm not sure ADCRV is any better than W2 or 1095 for the geometry and style of knives I make, and I think 1095 and W2 were pretty close together. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you guys still use 1095? Does it pull some weight around your shop? Or have you gone on to other steels? Man, I miss my press. I hate forging out tangs, and it takes so little time on a press. Although this is fairly thin material, I'm not sure I would actually use a press for this because it would upset and twist a little too much. But I love forging knives. It's my favorite part of making the knife, but this is my least favorite part of forging, is messing with tangs. I just find it stressful. I always feel like I'm going to bang on the heel on accident, or mess with the shape of the spine of the knife too much, or not draw out enough, or draw it out too thin, or I don't know, it just stresses me out. I hate it. So I've decided I want to draw this out a little bit. I want a little bit of a longer knife. So I'm going to cross peen it and flatten it a little bit, but I don't want to forge it to its final width yet, and I'll show you why in a minute. Time for the heel of the knife. I'm using a nice small little hammer. It's just thin steel. I got a small area to work with. There's no point in trying to kill it. So just some light taps here, bring the heel down and get it established a little bit with maybe a slightly small radius, and then I go up and bring that steel down into the area that I was just working in, and that pushes the heel out a little further. And you'll see here in a minute that I'll even start peening perpendicular to the angle that I want the steel to travel into the heel, and push it even further out. We're going to do a little bit of cross peening here because I want to bring that steel back down into that area a little more. And then I want to borrow steel from in front of the heel along the edge and push that back a little bit. really trying to reduce the radius of the heel by doing all this stuff before I forge in the rest of the bevels. You can see as I've worked the bevel, the spine is curved back like a banana. And I don't like that. You know, no one really wants that in a knife for the most part. I've kept some width on the spine, so I can sort of knock the spine flat and it pushes the curve back out, right? It's sort of like beveling the spine, but we're not really beveling it. We're just thinning it out. And then I'll reintroduce more curve towards the edge on that little piece of metal I had on the anvil, because we're going to do a little more beveling. And of course that beveling will take the reverse curve out of our blade again and straighten things back up. So it's this constant dance when you're beveling between, you know, keeping the spine straight and beveling the edge thin, and keeping the spine straight and beveling it thin. So these are just some tricks that I'm starting to use to win that fight. And I got the reverse banana curve in there just a little bit, so yeah, I got to do a little tapping on the edge. I don't like tapping on the edge because I feel like I just spent time thinning it out, but sometimes that is what it takes. All right, profile's looking pretty good. Now I got to put it under the flatter. Again, if I had my press, I would do this under a press. But my press isn't working, so we're going to use the flatter. You know, on a piece of steel this thickness and this size, this actually works pretty good. I'm not going to lie, there was a little more to getting things straight than I'm showing you here. It just seems sort of dull, so I don't want to bore anyone with that. But yeah, several heats of tippy tapping and straightening and taking to a vise and all that stuff. Here it is. I like the profile. We'll see how it turns out in the next video. You guys have a good one.